at the office. First, just want to thank our fans, students for coming out and supporting us in a tough game. We couldn't do anything to help get them up and get them to help us. I thought we did defend pretty well, really, and played hard from that standpoint and defended at a very good level. Sometimes that's hard to do when you can't score. It just puts so much pressure on you that it's hard to continue to keep competing like that. I think eventually in the second half we just kind of wore down emotionally, and they kind of pulled away, obviously. And credit Florida State, I thought they played great. They defended at a high level. When you play bigger, stronger, more athletic players at almost every position, it comes down to basketball execution. Your skill level has to be high. Your IQ has to be high. The way you play together has to be good. And obviously tonight we couldn't execute. We just struggled. Our mainline players didn't really play very well, and it just put a lot of pressure on us, which we forced some things and turned the ball over, and obviously we became part of our own worst enemy. So. You know, I think it's just. I think it's a combination of everything. It's one of those nights where your best players aren't really playing great. You don't get a lift off the bench from anybody to kind of think everything's going to be good. Even though we were down, like, you know, it was 5, 6, 7 points, it felt more than that, and I just, you know, it was hard to get the guys to really believe we're going to make a play here and get something going. We just never made them. You got to make some offensive plays to build some confidence and get your crowd behind you. And we just never made any. And you know, I mean, we were 23% and playing awful in the first half. Had 16 points. We're down 5. I mean, I'm trying to like cheer our guys up at halftime. Like, hey fellas, like we played terrible. Like, let's move on. Let's get on to the next deal and be ready to go win. And it's our youthfulness showed tonight. Disappointed, you know, we as coaches didn't do a good enough job of helping them offensively. We tried motion things to move more athletic guys and screen them. You either do that or you space them, and we tried that and just basically don't move as much, and just so you know where everybody is and have some space, and then just make reads. And that wasn't as good either. And again, some of that is the credit Florida State. They're big, they're long, they've got shot blocking, they're quick, they can gamble on the perimeter a little bit more because they know they got help inside, and we just didn't handle it well. And we haven't faced a lot of this. We'll face it again Saturday. Not quite as big as shot blockers at the rim, but same kind of athleticism and pressure and those kinds of things. But you know, hopefully we'll play better. We'll have a little more spark, and we'll make a couple plays and learn from this. But we just didn't do what we needed to do.
With such a young team and such a quick turnaround, will it be tough to try to get their spirits back up, or is it going to be pretty easy given? I
don't know. I mean, that's you know, $1 million question. If you had that, you'd be a rich man if as a coach, if you knew what you could do to, you know, hopefully our guys will be resilient. You know, we're not going to beat them down, but we're certainly going to point out mistakes and try to learn from it and move quickly into Duke and do the best we can to get ready for, you know, we got to have our energy level back up because they're going to be coming in here, you know, needing a road win and ready to play.
The season high turnovers and season low shooting percentage, did they just breed each other? Did you notice from the start one more?
You know, I think some of the turnovers, you get to a point in the game when it's not going well, and you just try, like rope, you're trying to do some things that you probably shouldn't try to do. You just kind of, feel like I got to go make a play, and you don't trust enough what you're doing as a team together sometimes, and you know that's where sometimes the guys on the court got to do some things. You know, I challenged our guys at halftime, and I told them this is a great opportunity for you guys to rally together and do something special for yourselves. Like but you're going to have to do it more yourselves out on that court as opposed to the coaches or anything else. And we just couldn't get it done. That part's a little disappointing.
Pleased with the shots that you got?
Not all of them, obviously not. No, I thought we had. I mean, we had some looks, but not. we didn't have a lot of great looks. And again, you're not going to get a ton of great looks against Florida State. You know, when you don't get any transition baskets, when you don't knock balls loose and try to get out in transition and try to get some easy ones to build your confidence. So then now you've made a basket or two, then you get to the other end, and now when you're running your stuff, you feel a little more, feel better. I don't care what you say, when you make a basket or two, guys perk up a little bit. You know, it's the same thing we do to other teams. Is when they struggle to score, then they do get an open shot. You haven't had an open shot in so long, it's like, man, I better make this. And if you miss it, now it's like, oh my God, when am I going to get another good shot? And now you start putting more and more pressure on yourself, and you start playing worse. And that's a little bit of that's part of what happened. Certainly a lot of it was Florida State just, you know, they were very determined. You could tell in warm-ups that they were a group that was not happy with the way they played their last game, and they were coming here to play well. And, you know, I thought we withstood the first surge, and I thought we competed just as hard as they did. In the first half, it was just ugly basketball. Neither team could score. Couldn't do anything. You know, it was a physical game. It was fine. Like, the officials let everybody – we played, you know. But at the end of the day, when that happens, you got to make plays, and we didn't make enough plays at all.
When getting to the foul line only 3 times, does that sign more of them, or you players being intimidated or not being aggressive enough?
You know, I thought we drove it in there plenty. I think some of it is they can block shots. I think also when you don't have transition, I think you get a lot of free throws in transition because you got them outnumbered, and now you drive it and the guy reaches in and fouls you, or, you know, I think you know, we didn't have enough of that. And that's usually good for some, you know, several free throws. And I think that that was a problem. I mean, they only shot 7, you know. So.
Any other questions? Good. Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Send an email about tomorrow.